Namaste. I watched the film Oppenheimer, and I must say that Christopher Nolan, the director, Cillian Murphy, who played Oppenheimer, Matt Damon, Robert Downey Jr., and everyone in the film were simply awesome. I am sure that people, particularly lovers of history and cinema like me, would give the film a straight 10 out of 10. The film just could not have been made any better. However, this short clarification is in response to the misrepresentation of a particular shloka from the Srimad Bhagavad Gita, and also because I have been observing several individuals, especially Indians, enthusiastically sharing an old video of Robert J. Oppenheimer in which his words indicate that he could have drawn inspiration from the Srimad Bhagavad Gita. I also came across a social media post in which some ignorant person has accused the Srimad Bhagavad Gita of preaching violence. In the video, Oppenheimer reflects on the aftermath of the first atomic bomb test, where he famously says, quote, "We knew the world would not be the same. A few people laughed, a few people cried. Most were silent. I remembered the line from the Hindu scripture, the Bhagavad Gita. Vishnu is trying to persuade the prince that he should do his duty, and to impress him, takes on his multi-armed form and says, 'Now I am become death, the destroyer of the worlds.' I suppose we all thought that, one way or another." Unquote. I wonder why I have not come across many people who have pointed out the terrible mistake in Oppenheimer's interpretation of the shloka from the Srimad Bhagavad Gita. The shloka Oppenheimer is referring to is shloka 1132 of the Srimad Bhagavad Gita. It goes like this. Shri Bhagavan Uvacha Kalosmi lokakshaya krit pravrittaha lokan samahartumeha pravrittaha ritepitvam na bhavishyanti sarve Yevasthitaha pratyanikeshu yotaha. Sri Bhagavan Krishna said, "I am time, the destroyer of the world, and I am now engaged in destroying these people. Even without your participation in it, all the warriors lined up on the opposite side will be killed." Let us now quickly analyze the particular line in this shloka. Krishna says, "Kalosmi lokakshaya krit pravrittaha." Kalaha asmi, time I am, or I am time. Lokaha, worlds. Krayakrit, destroyer or annihilator. And pravrittaha, great. So, time, the great destroyer of the worlds. Krishna says that he is time, not death, the destroyer of the worlds. Now, how do we interpret this? Of course, the Sanskrit word kala can be interpreted as death, because time eventually does destroy, or rather recycle everything anyway. Krishna is the eternal time, and it is in space where everything that exists. It is possible that as Oppenheimer was personally so greatly impressed by the Srimad Bhagavad Gita and deeply affected by the sheer magnitude of the destruction caused by the bomb, he remembered this shloka. Like I said earlier, everything in time and space is recycled at some point in time or another. Krishna's teachings are aimed at enabling Arjuna to learn and internalize the quality of nishkama karma, or performing work without any attachment, desire, or sense of doership. This means not letting his ego or emotions dominate his decisions and assuming he is the doer, but executing his duty to the best of his ability with a zero element of ego in it. Through the line, "I am time," Krishna signifies that time will anyway destroy everything, literally everything, including planets, stars, and constellations, even without Arjuna's role in it. Ritepitvam na bhavishyanti sarve. Even without you in it, none of them will survive. None of the warriors lined up on the opposite side. I will now give you the shloka that follows the one we just discussed. By the way, this shloka happens to be one of my favorite ones in the Srimad Bhagavad Gita, simply because it has what I call gigatons of raw charge of mental power in it. 1133. Tasmatvamuttithesholabasva jitva shatrun bhungshvarajyam samruddham mayevaite nihataha purvameva nimittamatram bhavasavyasachin. Krishna says, therefore, get up and attain glory, conquer your enemies and enjoy a prosperous kingdom. All these warriors have already been killed by me. You are merely an instrument, O Arjuna, the ambidextrous one. Krishna's statement, all these warriors have already been killed by me, conveys that as everything is destined to perish eventually, one should not be deceived into believing that they are the doer of actions. Instead, they should recognize themselves as mere instruments in the hands of Krishna or nature. In other words, this shloka suggests that the notion of individual agency and personal accomplishments should be seen in the context of the greater cosmic plan, acknowledging that all actions are ultimately governed by the natural order of things. The rather confounding interpretation of the line Kalosmi as I am death instead of I am time, I'm afraid, could have played an important role in the tragic events. The events surrounding the dropping of the atomic bombs, Little Boy and Fat Man on Hiroshima and Nagasaki on the 6th and 9th of August 1945, respectively. The epic battle of Mahabharata symbolizes the inner struggle that every individual experiences. It is the metaphorical battlefield of life. I call it an externalization of the internal struggles to make choices that every human being faces all the time in life. It is imperative to delve into the profound teachings of the Srimad Bhagavad Gita and not interpret them at a superficial level. The shlokas hold timeless wisdom that can guide us towards a deeper understanding of existence and our role in the world. The Bhagavad Gita's relevance extends far beyond its ancient origins. It holds invaluable insights for the modern world. We can foster a more compassionate and responsible society by grasping and embracing its teachings of non-attachment and non-agency. Let us honor the wisdom of the Srimad Bhagavad Gita and strive to understand its true essence for the betterment of all humanity. If you find yourself seeking a better comprehension of the profound teachings of the Srimad Bhagavad Gita or need assistance in understanding its essence, I encourage you to reach out to me, who is another seeker like you, but one who has been on the edge of life, literally, a number of times, and has spent over a couple of decades studying philosophy and life in general. Let us embark on this journey together, seeking knowledge and a deeper appreciation of the timeless scripture, the Srimad Bhagavad Gita. Let us all pledge to contribute towards respecting one another and nature as a whole, and making the world safe, peaceful, and prosperous for all human beings and all living beings. Thank you. Jai Shri Krishna.